What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to do my top five Nicolas Cage films. In my opinion, this is just subject to opinion. These are my top five films with a couple of notable mentions thrown in. And the reason I'm doing that, before we get started with the countdown, we're going to talk about the unbearable weight of massive talent. Now, last week on the Cinema Dado podcast, my cousin Ryan and I, we talked about this film. We both saw this film, and just a quick little overview, going back, what we talked about on the podcast. This film, if you've been on the fence about seeing this film, get off the fence, because this film is an accomplishment, is return of Nicolas Cage. The age of Cage is upon us. Nicolas Cage, Pedro Pascal, they are the perfect combination. It is dare I say, a bromance between these two gentlemen. This film was everything. If you've seen the trailer and you're like, you know what, I'm kind of worried that maybe it's not going to live up to everything. Believe me, there are things that you have not seen in the trailer that just make this film such a joy and such a pleasure to watch. It isn't, believe me, this could be, once this film is in my hand, physically, in a physical copy, and once I watch this film a couple more times, I think this could crack the top five Nicolas Cage films for me. I really think so. Nicolas Cage, just, again, real quick review for this one. Nicolas Cage, he's still acting. He's still, he's playing himself, obviously, in this film. This is Nicolas Cage playing Nick Cage. And essentially what the premise of this film is Nicolas Cage, he's still acting, like I said, but he's getting these, more, lower tier roles. He's not hitting it big like he once was. And that's what he's looking for. He's looking for that home run, the one that really gets him back out there, back up to the top of Hollywood. And he has his agent, played by Neil Patrick Harris. He's trying to help Nicolas, trying to help Cage get it started again. But the only thing he can come across is this gentleman played by Pedro Pascal. He goes by the name of Javi. He is a gentleman who, he is the number one Nicolas Cage fan. He is a fanatic when it comes to Nicolas Cage. And he's willing to pay $1 million for Cage to come to his island resort, where he is, to his country. And there are things, if you've seen the trailer, without spoiling things, who you think might be the villain is not the real villain in the film. It definitely has a little bit of a twist to who really is the true baddie in this film. But Pedro Pascal, he pays for Nicolas Cage to come there with the idea of not just wanting to meet him, but the idea of giving him a script that he has written for a film. And from there, their friendship just, like I said, is a bromance. These two are just, Pedro Pascal, I've never seen him deliver comedy like he does in this. I would love to see another film with him and Cage together, another, like a buddy comedy. There is a scene where they're in Pedro's, basically his home theater that he has, and they're watching films, and there's a particular film that they do watch in this that is just, it's a laugh out loud funny. I loved it. They're, if you've seen from the trailer, the part when they go over this wall and they're basically, Nicolas Cage saying, go on without me and everything. And Pedro just believe me, there are things in the trailer, but that's not everything. That's not everything. There is a scene where they are tripping on LSD and they go into town. And that's all I'm going to say. We went into a little bit more on the podcast, more detail about the things in the film and stuff. But this film is I'm going to give this film a 9 out of 10. It is a 9 out of 10. An excellent comeback for Nicolas Cage. I mean, like I said, he's making direct-to-video films. But this is one that could definitely get him back into being in theaters all the time. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I cannot wait till this film comes out, because the 4K is already up for pre-order. And guess what? I already have it pre-ordered. So I can't wait to have this in my hand and to watch this one again. I was completely blown away by Pedro Pascal as Javi. Completely blown away. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. There's a scene, again, another scene that is in the trailer, where they go into basically Javi's memorabilia area, where he has all his Nicolas Cage things, and there's a life like statue of Nicolas Cage, and Nicolas Cage looks at him and says, "That is grotesque. I'll give you $5,000 for it." And again, just his delivery is so on point. Does he go over the top? No, he does go over the top. That kind of style of Nicolas Cage come to expect, but it's not so crazy that it just like takes you out of the moment. The delivery is great between the both of them. I just loved it. And then the young actress and the actress who's playing his wife in the film and daughter respectively, they're both great. The delivery, especially the woman playing his wife. I'm not sure her name exactly, but the back and forth between her and Nicolas Cage, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So I can't recommend The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent enough. Definitely, please go out and check this one out. You will not be disappointed. A high recommendation on that film. Absolutely high recommendation. Now, as far as my top Nicolas Cage films, now these are the ones that I have in my possession. So these are my top films that I have of Nicolas Cage. Like I said, this one though, when that one comes out, I think somebody's going to be getting bumped out of the top 5. Not quite sure how high that one's going to go, but it's going to go pretty high. But the ones that I do have, first, let's start with the 3 honorable mentions, basically, that I have. First off, we have National Treasure 2. Great follow-up to National Treasure. Unfortunately, does not crack my top 5 for Cage films, but still a solid follow-up to the first film. Willy's Wonderland. I did a review on this when this first came out. I love this film. Nicolas Cage does not say a word in this film. Does not. But the expressions on his face and his mannerisms and just everything that the physical well, I would say comedy, but just because some things are pretty funny that he does, physically in this film. But it's a blast, an absolute blast, a hidden gem for Nicolas Cage fans for Willy's Wonderland. Definitely check this one out. Now, here's a film that did not light the box office on fire when it came out, but it's actually gotten some love over the last few years. I think more people are trying, really getting turned, coming into this one, and really realizing this film, it's not a bad film. It's absolutely not. It's fun. It is what it is. And, you can't take it serious. This one has Ron Perlman in it as well, and that is Season of the Witch. Absolutely. I liked this film the first time I saw it. Like I said, I know it got panned when it first came out. But again, you can't take it serious. These guys are not playing this up to be, historically accurate in this film. And I just think it's a lot of fun. It's a real, there's horror element to this. There's action. And I think it's a lot of fun, this film. Absolutely a lot of fun. So, Season of the Witch. Now, as far as top 5 films go, number 5, Nicolas Cage, along with John Cusack, John Malkovich, Con Air. Con Air is a fantastic film. Nicolas Cage doing this accent that is kind of like over the top, but he's playing a criminal, but it's a lot of fun. John Malkovich, always when he's playing the scumbag in the film, he's playing the villain, he does it up pretty darn good. So definitely, Con Air is a must watch for Nicolas Cage fans. Now going to the more lighthearted family area of for Nicolas Cage, The Family Man with Téa Leoni. Great Christmas film, definitely a holiday classic. And it's just a lot of fun. A sweet film. Definitely in the style of It's a Wonderful Life. And it's an absolute, definitely holiday gem. Definitely check out The Family Man. Now, this one was very close. Between 2 and 3, this one was a close one. And that is Gone in 60 Seconds with Angelina Jolie. Absolute, before the Fast and Furious, there was Gone in 60 Seconds. Nicolas Cage, basically, he's a car thief. He's got to get his younger brother out of trouble. Angelina Jolie is basically part of his group, people who have to go and get all these cars. And it's just a lot of fun. High octane, great driving sequences, a lot of great looking cars. Definitely Gone in 60 Seconds is a great watch. Now, talked about National Treasure 2. Well, National Treasure 1, the first one. I love this. Nicolas Cage romping around the U.S., finding all these different artifacts. It's like Indiana Jones, but in at home basically in the U.S. And he's not over the top. Again, he's still not over the top. And it's a great Disney action film. Their answer basically to a modernized Indiana Jones. I really enjoy National Treasure. And finally, my number one, and even when The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent comes out, this will still be number one. This will not be replaced as my number one Nicolas Cage film. This also has Ed Harris and, of course, Mr. Bond himself, Sean Connery. That is The Rock. Freaking awesome. I have seen this Nicolas Cage film more than any other Nicolas Cage film. Absolutely love The Rock. Taking place on Alcatraz, Sean Connery being the one who was able to escape Alcatraz, and Ed Harris basically he's taken over there at the island. He's got a bunch of guys that are basically terrorists with him, and Sean Connery is recruited to help Nicolas Cage get in there and defuse the situation. The Rock is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I can't recommend this one enough. I know Criterion actually put out a DVD of this years ago. I need Criterion to up their game, put out a 4K for The Rock. This film needs a 4K release ASAP. This is an outstanding, outstanding film. This one, along with Gone in 60 Seconds, you can actually catch them on Amazon, through Amazon Prime right now. If you have Prime, you can catch them. Can't recommend them more. They are fantastic. Absolutely, definitely go and watch them, especially The Rock. Number one Nicolas Cage film for me. Can't say enough more great things about it than I already have. So, like, subscribe, and comment if you get a chance, and I will catch you in another episode. Take care.